And we are back with another video. Welcome guys. Thanks for coming back to the channel. And in this video, we will be looking at European football's coaching carousel that now seems to be in full swing. We have been seeing going outs and we have been seeing some coming ins and we have been hearing a lot of rumors. But let's look at who is currently in. Which clubs have secured new managers since the end of the season, and who are these new managers? First, let's look at Ajax. I spoke about Ajax and their troubles in one of my earlier videos, but they have been able to recruit their new coach, and that is Francesco Farioli. He was formerly the coach at Nice. He did very well with Nice over the past 2 seasons, and he will now be moving to Ajax. Ajax actually had to pay Nice compensation of 1 million euros in order to secure Farioli as their manager, because he was still under contract with Nice until 2025. So Ajax have got their man, and let's see if he can turn around their fortunes. They have been pretty bad over the last 2 seasons, not up to their usual high standards. So let us see if Farioli is the man to turn things around, or if they will be looking for a new manager before the end of next season. Next up is West Ham. We all know that West Ham, perennial English Premier League club, their manager David Moyes had already notified them that he was leaving the club at the end of the season, and so Moyes has moved away after a pretty decent spell at West Ham that culminated with the winning of the Europa Conference League last season. So Moyes did pretty good at West Ham, but he's now gone, and West Ham has moved quickly to replace Moyes, and they have brought in none other than Julian Lopetegui. Julian Lopetegui is a former Spain manager. He's a former Real Madrid manager. He managed Sevilla to Europa League triumph in 2020. But he has also managed in the Premier League before. He took over the job at Wolves during the 2022-2023 season. He came in November of that season, and he guided them out of trouble, and they ended the season in 13th place. But Lopetegui left Wolves because he and the Wolves hierarchy could not agree on transfers. He didn't think that he was going to be backed in the transfer market for the upcoming season, and so he walked away from the Wolves job, and he's now making a return to the English Premier League. Let us see if he will be able to make a success of it at West Ham. He's a quality manager, quality football man, and let us see what happens with him at West Ham. Now, we will look at 2 coaches that are holding on to their jobs by their fingernails. One is Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. We still don't know what is going to happen there. Nobody knows if he's going to be there at the end of June or at the beginning of next season. We just don't know what's happening there. Rumors swirling all around, but with the state of that club, then we will really not know anything until probably the last minute. Another coach under a great deal of pressure at this time is Xavi. Xavi at Barcelona has fallen out with Juan Laporta, and as such, he is now being threatened with being sacked. This is after changing his mind and saying he's going to stay at the club after telling us for months that he was leaving and no power on earth could get him to stay at Barcelona. He flip-flopped, changed his mind, and now it might be the case that they end up sacking him. Well, I can't say I'm sorry for Xavi. Not at all. I'm definitely not sorry for Xavi. But let us see what happens. But the rumors of Hansi Flick to Barcelona seems to be picking up speed. They just will not go away at this point. And Hansi Flick, everybody knows Hansi Flick, German manager, serial winner at Bayern Munich. And it is evident now that the powers that be at Barcelona are trying to get Flick in. so that they can sack Xavi. Xavi's days seem to be numbered at Barcelona, and we will just have to watch and see how long he lasts. Speaking of Bayern Munich, they are in the hunt for a new manager, and after rejections by a number of well-known, experienced managers, with Ralf Rangnick being the last person to turn the job down after their breakup with Thomas Tuchel, they have turned their attention to Vincent Kompany, the Burnley manager. He just guided Burnley through the EPL season. They ended up 19th place, got relegated back to the Championship after one season in the Premier League. But Bayern have seen something in Kompany that they think would fit with their ethos, that they think would fit with their club. And so they are negotiating with Kompany. I understand that that is far advanced, and it is now a case of working out compensation with Burnley, because Kompany is still under contract to Burnley, so they will have to pay Burnley if they are to hire Vincent Kompany. So let us see what transpires with that. We hope that Bayern will be able to get their man finally, and let us see what happens with them. Trophyless season for the first time in a very, very long time. So they would be looking at this as some sort of crisis. Let us see if they do get Kompany, if he is the man to bring them out of that crisis. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Let us look at the coaches that are out. Pochettino, he's out. At Chelsea, that was not unexpected. I also spoke about that situation in one of my earlier videos, but he and Chelsea has broken up, so Chelsea is now without a manager. So they will be in the market looking very hard, trying to fill that slot as soon as possible. You don't want to be out of a manager heading deep into the off season. So what next for Chelsea? What next for Pochettino? We will just have to wait and see. One thing though, I think coaches looking at that Chelsea job might be a bit wary. That Chelsea job has been somewhat of a poison chalice for quite some time. Coaches at Chelsea just don't seem to last. Regardless of the ownership, coaches at Chelsea just don't seem to last. Something is definitely wrong there. But let us see. Let us see. We will just have to wait and see what happens. Another coach that is out is Thiago Motta. Thiago Motta has decided not to renew his contract at Bologna. We expected that. I spoke about that in an earlier video as well. So he is out of Bologna, and it is expected that he will take the job at Juventus. Juventus coaching job is open after they sacked Allegri at the end of the season, and they have been speaking to Thiago Motta's people from as far back as January. So it is fully expected that Thiago Motta will be moving to Juventus to take up that position there, and that will leave the position at Bologna open. So Bologna will now be searching for a new coach as they prepare for Champions League football next season. They will also be searching for a new coach. I guess they'll probably be looking for someone with some amount of European experience, some amount of European pedigree. But not a lot of that is out there. So let's see where they do turn. Roberto Zerbi is available. Let us see if he returns home to Italy and take up that Bologna job. That would be interesting. Seeing Bologna playing under Zerbi in the Champions League would be an interesting proposition. But let's see how it works out. And as the carousel continues to spin, let's see who else get thrown off. Let's see who hops on. And as we go deeper into the off season, it should be an interesting one. So until the next video, have a good one and keep watching.